Okay. So hang with me over here on this platform, but also if you could log into LinkedIn so you can get Tiffany's portion, it would be much appreciated. Much appreciated. You know, Tiffany, no matter what, we're pressing through this, no matter what. But we didn't want, yeah, we don't want people's ears to be, you know, totally blown out of whack because we having technical difficulties. Okay. Now I don't go on this platform, but you can go ahead over there, Tiff.
I don't see it on I don't see it on Facebook at all. I only see it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great one. So I
Yeah.
had introduced to you, so you just go ahead and give us what you want to give us. Give us your Easter speech. Introduce what you want to say to us in regards to you, and then I guess we'll break off in our section.
Yeah. Well, you know, this platform, what we're doing here tonight, you know, maximizing your potential. And in order to maximize your potential, you know, you set goals and you have plans in order to reach those goals. And tonight we're just going to take the overwhelm, you know, out of that. We're going to take the overwhelm out of that where you could just, you know, put your hands to it. And it won't be anything that's frustrating. It won't be anything that overwhelms you or anything of that nature. You know, we're going to get right to it. And, you know, we're going to drop some tidbits. We're going to drop some nuggets tonight to help you do just that. Because, you know, too many, my thing is, and this is something, it's a passion inside of me, Tiffany, where I hate to see women, you know, just sitting on the sidelines or, you know, thinking that they don't have anything to offer. And I know a lot of times, ladies, you know, we leave money on the table by not recognizing our value, not recognizing our work. You know, I was talking to a lady today. As a matter of fact, she's a ghostwriter. And, you know, I always embrace the collaboration with other writers, other authors, and we were talking about some things. And I was sitting back, and you know, we were going back and forth. And you know, she's going to be another conference speaker for another conference that we're going to have because you know we agree that you know there's a lot of things that people just don't know. And if we could show them and offer them, you know, different ways of doing things, it will make their lives so much better. It's so much better. So, you know, this is a part of that. This is a part of that. What we're talking about this workshop tonight, awakening your greatness, awakening your greatness, because there is greatness on the inside of us. Okay. Ladies, there's greatness on the inside of you. And we want to see you take the limits off your mind, take the limits off of the way that you have been doing things, and give yourself that opportunity to, you know, maximize your potential. And with that being said, let me introduce myself again for those of you who don't know me. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your #1 inspirational book coach. And that's what I do. I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. And especially this year, you know, 2022, you know, this is a winning year for you. No matter what has happened in the past, you're going to forget about those things which are behind, and you're going to reach forth for those things that are before you, because there's more before you than there is behind you. Okay? There's more before you than there is behind you. So go ahead, Tiffany. Go on and introduce yourself to the people.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Mr. Chapman. I so appreciate you. Well, I am Tiffany Rochelle, and I am known as the People's Cheerleader. What I do is I help encourage women to reach the top of their hearts and to set goals that are true to you. What I also did was write a book, and it is called I Choose Me. And I definitely believe in individuals choosing themselves, whether you are a lady or a gentleman. I definitely believe in being selfish and choosing yourself to chat field, unless Ms. Gertrude wants to handle that for us. So I'll go ahead and give y'all my Middle Easter speech, and then we're going to be able to move on to Ms. Gertrude. So today, or I shouldn't say today because it is nighttime, at least for me, or for us over here, we got nighttime. There is this, I guess I should talk to you a little bit today about doing some things a little differently. Because that's just totally something that we need to kind of like do moving forward. We need to do some stuff that's a little different. What I'm going to start with is this beautiful movie that I like. Now, I always talk to you about movies, and I talk to you about music. And I'm going to talk to you actually about both of those things. So there's this movie that I happen to like. It's called Bumblebee. And have y'all ever heard of it? If so, do you know that you've heard of it? Throw it in the chat. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this movie. So planet Cybertron, there's an Autobot. His resistance led by Optimus Prime, right? And they're on the verge of losing a war against the Decepticons. And they prepare to evacuate the planet. And the Decepticons force is led by Starscream and Soundwave and this guy called Shockwave. Well, they intercept the Autobots during the evacuation. And Optimus sends Autobot scout B-127 to Earth in an escape pod to set up a base of operations and stuff. And before staying behind to defend off the Decepticons. And so B-127, he's special. So I need y'all to pay attention to B-127. B-127 reaches Earth and crash landing in California. And disrupted a training exercise by Sector 7. Now they are they're a secret government agency. They're monitoring extraterrestrial activity on Earth. And it was presumed that B-127 was hostile, and orders were given to attack him, right? So B-127, he scans a Jeep and he flees to a mine where he's ambushed by the Decepticons. Blitzwig, I believe is how I'm pronouncing his name. Nevertheless, when B-127 refuses to reveal where Optimus Prime's whereabouts are, Blitzwig tears out his voice box and damages his memory core. But B-127, he destroys Blitzwig with one of his own missiles. Now, B-127 scans one of these nearby Volkswagen Beetles. I'm sure you guys know what the little Beetles look like before collapsing from all the injuries from the particular fight that he has. Well, then there's a lady, or a young girl, I should say, her name was Charlie. Charlie, she was an individual who was depressed by the death of his father, and she was a little resentful of her mother's new boyfriend. You know how those kind of get, we always get a little resentful when mom changes her atmosphere and gets someone new. Well, Charlie, she finds this yellow Volkswagen Beetle in a scrapyard, right? And it was given to her for her 18th birthday present. Now, when trying to start it, Charlie unknowingly activates this thing, which is a homing signal that is detected by the Decepticons. And the two Decepticons, they end up deciding to head to Earth to acquire an Earth vehicle, some vehicle forms, right? And they encounter Sector 7. They pretend to be peacekeepers and they persuade the agency to help capture B-127 despite the objections, right? Well, Charlie attempts to fix this little yellow beetle and it transforms into B-127, whom she befriends, and then that's when she named him Bumblebee. Then she unknowingly unlocks a message from Optimus urging Bumblebee to defend Earth, which restores some of Bumblebee's memories because he had gotten into that little fight earlier, and that's when he ended up destroying the other guy with the missile. They then discovered by Charlie's neighbor, Memo, who agrees to protect their secret while Bumblebee learns to use the radio now to communicate. Because remember, I told you Bumblebee's his voice box was removed. Memo decides he's gonna go ahead and protect their secret or whatever, and Bumblebee learns to communicate with this thing, with this little radio. When it was left alone, Bumblebee, he intentionally destroys Charlie's home, and he causes an energy spike that attracts Sector 7's attention. I know you're wondering, why am I telling you all this? But if you just walk with me, I promise you, I'm going someplace. I just need you to bear with me. There's purpose behind all this. So when Sally, that's Charlie's mom, blames Charlie for the havoc that's in the house, Charlie finally expresses her pain over her father's death. And then she leaves with Bumblebee and Memo, only to be intercepted by Sector 7 and the Decepticons, right? Bumblebee was captured, and Charlie and Memo were returned home. Well, Charlie convinces her brother Otis to cover for Memo and her as they follow Vern to the Sector 7 outpost where Bumblebee is being held at, right? The two Decepticons torture Bumblebee and they activate a message from Optimus learning that the Autobots are coming to Earth. They kill Bumblebee after revealing their plan to bring the Decepticons to Earth. After alerting Vern to the truth about the Decepticons, Dr. Powell, he's killed, and that's forth in the light. Charlie then electroshocks Bumblebee back to life. Bumblebee died. She electroshocks him back to life, restoring his memories and fends off Vern's obstructions, right? Now, after evading the military with the help of Memo and her family, Charlie and Bumblebee pursue the Decepticons who are using a radio tower at the nearby harbor to contact Cybertron. The Shadow shoots Vern's helicopter, and then they also they try to intervene, but they were saved by Bumblebee. She was B-127. Now there has been a change that's in there, so now we're referring to B-127 now as Bumblebee. Bumblebee binds up, drop kicks with the chain, and he starts ripping the individual apart. He activates the Decepticon beacon and thus forth and the like, right? Well, Bumblebee and Charlie escape, and the army arrive on a cliff and they overlook the Golden Gate Bridge. And then Charlie, she's realizing that Bumblebee, he has a greater purpose. So then that's when she ended up having to say goodbye to Bumblebee because he discovered his greater purpose. Now Bumblebee takes on a new role. He gets into the Camaro, they drive off, and then Charlie reunites. Bumblebee ended up reuniting with Optimus Prime, who successfully escaped, and now he's praised for keeping Earth safe, right? There's a purpose for that story. Although Bumblebee's memory was jarred and he ended up losing his voice, although he may not initially have knew what his purpose was on Earth, Bumblebee kept going. He, who we once knew as B-127, had a change in his life. Once he was shocked back into reality, he realized what his purpose was. At that point, he had to put action on it, okay? It's more than just you thinking of positivity or positive thoughts. You have to overcome, okay? We become that in which we were thinking we were, okay? It is then that you will start doing things differently. Your thoughts change, you act differently, and you do things completely different because you now know what your purpose is. Now, we all have this amazing ability to call into our lives anything that we want, anything that we need, anything that we desire. We have the capacity inside of us to manifest just that. Now, friends, I need you to understand you will attract that in which you are. So if you are negative, you can't get mad when negativities come your way. If you think you're ill, don't get mad when illnesses come your way. Now, if you don't want certain things in your life, you must begin to change the way you're thinking. You must begin to work on you so that the things that you attract, the things that come to you are the things that you want. You have to begin to call those things that are not as though they are. Start calling out what it is that you want to see. You have to start saying what it is that you want to see. The things that you think on, you speak on until it manifests. So I'll ask you, what is it chats, what is it that you really want to see? What is it? A new car that you want? Is it some peace that you want? Hope? Is that what you want? You want love, a new job? Maybe you need a raise. Maybe you want to have a family. You know, we talk about this often. You might want to write a book. Whatever it is that you need to start speaking on it, because you have the power to choose your thought. In the movie, the Decepticons was fighting Bumblebee, and at one part, he thought it was all over. With each hit, he started feeling a little depressed. Bam! He was sad, okay? Boom! He was a little unhappy. He got baked in the face, and he was broken. He thought he'll never be anything. Then he chose another thought. And that's something that we need to do. We need to choose to say, I'm going to be excited. We need to choose to say that I'm happy. We need to choose to say, I'm anxiety free. We need to learn to choose another thought, because we have the ability within us to control our thoughts. So you have to start saying to yourself daily, it is possible. Matter of fact, I need your participation, and I need you to help me out, and go ahead and put that in the chats, that it is possible. When you change your belief and you start believing that the things that didn't happen can happen, and when they do happen, you become the change that others need to see, so that they know they can defeat the obstacles that is stopping them from being great, that's stopping them from being a success, that's stopping them from being all that they want to be. You show them that you defeated the obstacles, not the obstacles defeating you. We're talking about changing your minds and having the right thoughts. Think about it. You have athletes that set a record, right? Then you have athletes that come behind them and they broke the record that was previously set, right? So you'll be that person that sets the bar, which in turn allows somebody else to break that bar. But rest assured in this, you were the first to break that mental bar in your own head. You defeated the giant that was in your life, which in turn helps somebody else defeat the giant in their life. Oh, I don't have nobody talking back to me in this chat field. Maybe you need some help, or you need some motivation to help shift you, to propel you, to help you gain the momentum that you need. Share with me something for me. As for me, I have this morning routine that I do, that it helps me to set my day and it creates my atmosphere. If you ever watch any of our shows, I'm Notorious for telling the show. It helps me to stay, to create my atmosphere and to maintain the high energy individual that I am, because I am high strung and I'm always busy. There's a reason that they call me the people's cheerleader, right? It's gotta be kind of energetic. So when I wake up in the morning, my first thing is I thank God. Now, I'm not saying that because it's something that I've heard others say. I say it because it's something that I actually do. This is something that I was mandated to do when I was a kid, and it's something that I still do to this very day. What it gives me is this attitude of gratitude, because my eyes, they didn't have to open. My ears didn't have to be attentive. My body didn't have to respond to the way it's supposed to respond. So I immediately wake up and I tell God, it's my immediate response, right? And so after I do that, the only way you'll understand that that's something I do is if you sleep in bed with me, I'm not married. So that's a personal choice that I make, and that's my personal start. That's my personal declaration that I do. Next, if you ever come to my house, you may be a little annoyed, because the next thing that I'm doing, I'm grabbing some music. Okay, I'm immediately grabbing music and it goes on. So if you are asleep, if you are perturbed, you're gonna be perturbed, because you're gonna immediately wake up because music goes on. It's a part of setting my atmosphere. Next, then I'm going to the bathroom. I'm setting myself up. I'm getting ready to take a shower, but before I get ready to do that, I'm looking music, it helps to create the atmosphere that I need. There are times that I want to worship. There's times that I want to praise. Y'all may get mad. There's time I want to twerk, show do. There are times that I'm sad, and there are times that I just really want to chill. But music for me sets the tone as to what it is that I want or where I want to be. It helps to set my atmosphere for the day. With that being said, music is super powerful. Now, you normally listen to music and it stimulates the mood that you're in. As I first stated, if you're sad, you listen to sad music. If you're happy, you listen to happy music. Allow the music to help to shift you too, but help to shift you in a positive direction. If you're feeling sad, turn on a playlist that you might normally listen to when you're happy. You have to learn to shift your mind in order to do things differently. Shift it in a positive direction. As repetition happens and you've done something so many times, your body now knows how to do it and now has grown accustomed to doing it. Your body has now developed a memory for it. A person doing the same thing every day begins practically to operate as if they're on autopilot. You begin doing things for your future based on what you did in the past. Take a page from the Prophet Bumblebee and realize that you have purpose in your life. It's up to you to run with it so you may transform your life and the lives of others. Don't allow the obstacles of your past to potentially destroy your future. You have a purpose. You have been given a mandate. There is this wonderful spot in this present moment that you should use to develop some good habits. Life mirrors your thoughts, and your brain holds a record of the past. Don't allow the memories of your past to be displayed in your today. I really appreciate you for taking the time to listen to me and making sure that your ear was attentive to my Easter speech. I hope that you were able to be encouraged in some type of way by my Easter speech. Miss Gertrude has a whole lot in store for us, and I really hope that you begin to do things differently in this Easter speech that I decided to give you. So, with that being said, take a moment to think on those things. Hopefully you'll change your directions and you're able to start shifting your mind into doing things a little bit more positive. So at that being said, I am going to jump back, and we're going to jump into another part of the workshop that's going to be given by our wonderful host, Ms. Gertrude J. Chapman.
Well, that was wonderful, Tiffany, because it's very important, to frame your day and, get started with the right mindset. Yeah, so that's all a part of it. And like I hate to, that everybody's not on the same, let me see, trying to share my screen. Let me see. Hold tight 1 minute. Share my screen.
Did you get a chance to post any of these? I don't want to repost it if you did. Any of the chats that's over here?
I got a chance to, to do them. I certainly did. Let me go back to my Zoom. And also, y'all, for y'all that stayed to the end, Tiffany, and I forgot also to mention, we have free gifts for you. So we have some freebies for you. So we're gonna make those things available to you at the end of the broadcast. At the end of the broadcast, those things be available to you. We went through some technical difficulties today, but nevertheless, we're pressing on through. And I'll make sure that those of you who are on that side, on the LinkedIn side, will get this presentation also, okay? So we're talking about Awakening Greatness, the workshop, Awakening Greatness. And these are some things, following back off of what Tiffany said about framing her day and getting in the mood and, different things that, need to be done to get yourself in that frame of mind of, what you want to accomplish. So the first one is my choices today. This is what you should say. My choices today support my goals for tomorrow. And I don't know if you have been on previous broadcasts where I talked about, sometimes we do things that, we should not even be doing. Maybe it's something outdated. What I do is I do something called a process of elimination. And I take a big sheet of paper and I draw a big circle in the middle of it. And in that circle, in the middle of that circle, I put my goals. And all around the perimeter, I write everything I'm involved in, everything that I'm doing. And if those goals, those things line up with my goals, then I keep them. But if they're not, if it's something that's going to be a distraction, if it's something that, I shouldn't be doing anymore, I eliminate those things. So this is the first statement that you should think about. My choices today support my goals for tomorrow. Because now we're talking about keying in on things. Now we're talking about being ironclad focused. We're talking about, maximizing your potential. And the next one is the focus that goal achievement requires rarely daunts me. The focus that goal achievement requires rarely daunts me. When I think of my future success, okay, I get excited about the prospect of getting there. And these are some things that you should, ask yourself, some things that you should think about. Here's another one. I commit to do what is important. Are you committed to do those things that are important to you? These are some things that you have to decide. This morning, Tiffany and I, we were talking about, and I think this has been going on for several days, Tiffany. It's been going on. We were talking about defining yourself. Okay? That's something that you could take down today and tonight and think about doing this, because then this will make a whole lot of sense to you. Sit down in a solitary place. Take some time out and define yourself. Find out about yourself. Find out who you are. Find out your purpose. And then you could go back over these and it's going to make a whole bunch of sense to you. And you'll be able to not be overwhelmed or, be so bogged down. Because sometimes people are at their wits' end because there's just so much going on in their lives. But, some things that we may have in our lives, we need to get rid of those things because they're outdated, or we should no longer be doing it, or it just don't make sense. I always say if it don't make dollars, it don't make any sense, okay? There's some things that we may be doing that we shouldn't be doing. So what's wrong with looking at your goals and looking at the things that you're involved in and you're doing and see if it lines up with your goals? If it doesn't, just get rid of it. The next one, setting goals sometimes means sacrificing my comfort for the end results. Sometimes that happens. Here's another one. I am content with tough decisions that yield an ideal outcome. Think about that. I am content with tough decisions that yield an ideal outcome. These are some things that you should ask yourself. Today, I am happy to be a sound decision maker. You want to be a sound decision maker. This is all a part of setting your goals and setting those plans in order to reach those goals. You have to be a sound decision maker. You can't be, on this side and that side, so undecided. You have to learn how to make firm decisions. And in that same statement, You have to learn how to say no. It's okay to say no, y'all. It's okay to say no. I promise you. Okay? You are very important. Your life is important. Your business is important. Your vision is important. Your message is important. Your message is very important in order to reach your audience. So don't be bogged down in things that just don't make sense. And just do it because it's just something to do. It's time to concentrate. It's time to focus in. Here's another one. My commitment to thinking things through with a focus on my goals is unwavering. I'm gonna say that again. My commitment to thinking things through with a focus on my goals is unwavering. That means you're gonna stand and you're gonna make those solid decisions. You're not gonna shy back. You're not gonna hold back. It doesn't matter if people don't like it. It just doesn't matter. What is best for you? What is best for your audience? What is best for your vision? What is best for your vision? It's time to decide those things. It's time to decide. Make those decisions. Make a decision that allows for no turning back. Ask yourself this question. Do your goals support your value? Do my goals support my value? And I hope that you wrote that down, what I asked you earlier, because this is something for you to do, okay? Define yourself. Many times you really don't know who you are. You think you know who you are based on what somebody else thinks that you're supposed to be, or maybe even what you think that you're supposed to be. But who are you? Who are you? When you're walking true to your true identity, it comes hell or high water, you will stand. You will be ironclad focused. So do your goals support your values? You know, I know Tiffany is the people's cheerleader, but don't be a cheerleader when those things don't support your values just to fit in. You're not made to fit in. You're made to stand out. Be unapologetically you. Don't ever apologize for who you are. No matter who says what, no matter what they think, that's not your problem. Here's another one. Set goals that support your value. Set those goals. And you see, when you do those things, things will begin to fall in line. You won't be so stressed out. You know, don't be a people pleaser, y'all. Don't be a people pleaser. List your current values. A, list your values and put in priority to you. And I promise y'all will get these slides, okay? Because this is something that you could go back and reflect on. But I'm just reading it now since you're not able to see the screen, okay? B, ask yourself if your behavior is aligned with your values. C, is there an idealized impression of your intentions, your values, and your quality? Is there? The second part, what are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals in life? Do you even know that? Because, you know, a lot of times people think one thing, they say something else, and they do something totally different from what they were saying and what they're thinking. Are you in alignment or in unity within yourself? Because a lot of times that happens, you know, that causes people to not believe in themselves. So the question is, What are your goals in life? What do you want to accomplish? And those are things you should ask yourself. And here's an expansion one for you, because I believe that everywhere we go, we are supposed to expand. We are expansion, y'all. Our message expands, okay? We have a message, and we have a purpose behind our message. We have an awesome responsibility, whether we are author, whether we are a coach, whether we are a business owner, we have an awesome responsibility to the people that we serve. And within us, there is value, there's knowledge. Everywhere we go, everywhere the sole of our feet tread upon, we possess it and we also expand it. We make deposits in those areas that need to bring understanding to those people, bring knowledge to them, to help them, bring hope to them, whatever it may be. Think about that. What do you want to build? Do you want to build an empire? It's okay. You have to stop seeing yourself on a small scale and see yourself on a large scale, because there's nothing insignificant. There's nothing insignificant about you. There's a whole lot of value inside of you that needs to come forth, because the world is waiting on that message that you haven't written or you haven't shared as of yet. With 63,000 Google searches every second of every day, with people looking for information in a condensed format called a book that you're the expert on, because this is something that like the back of your hand. People are always calling you about it. They always inquiring about it. And, they're looking at you as an expert. Now, how are you going to show up for your audience? Maximize your potential. Number 3, how does your current values impact your goals? How does your current values impact your goals? A, check your beliefs. Are you harboring negative beliefs that are conflicting with your success? Tiffany was talking about that. Framing your day. Get those negative things out of you. When you sit down, I'm asking you to define yourself. When you sit there, don't take those negative things, okay, y'all? If there's something negative that you don't like about yourself, find something that you would like to replace it with that's good. Okay, there has to be a replacement, because if you don't replace it with something good, guess what? The negative you might get rid of it, but it'll come right back again. Okay, so don't sit there and write negative things about yourself. Find the good inside of you. That's why it has to be a solitary place. That's why you have to be by yourself and be true to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop believing what people say about you. It's not true. What are you saying about yourself? What are you really saying about yourself? Be true to you. B, check your comfortability level. Do you like to play it safe? Do you like to stay within the bounds that you have set in your mind? Take the limits off, y'all. Take the limits off. It's time for you to expand. It's time for you to maximize your potential. Who told you that you couldn't do? You could do everything that you have set your mind to do. Anything you set your mind to do, you could do it. You could do it. Here's another thing that you should ask yourself. Are you requiring spontaneity? That means everything you do is spontaneous. Everything you do is spontaneous. If you keep doing things that's spontaneous, you'll never get anywhere. You have to have goals. You have to have a plan in order to reach those goals. You have to have some type of order to your life in order to reach those goals. You just can't continue winging it. You can't do that. If you trying to maximize your potential, you can't do that. There has to be some order in your life. Here's something else that you could think about. What would be the perfect set of values to support my goals? A, what values and qualities would I need to possess? B, how would I be different if I had these values? You know, Tiffany, these things are personal tonight. Getting to the nitty gritty. These are personal tonight. Okay? C, now I want you to think about this. Think of the people that you know that have accomplished what you want to accomplish. How would you describe them? I always tell y'all, okay? And we always say this on the program. Always surround yourself with people who are successful, people who have been where you're trying to go, not people on the same level as you, okay? But people who have been there, people who could, you know, pull you forward, people who are not jealous of you, okay? Not surround yourself with naysayers and negative people, but surround yourself with people who are not just starters, but doers, but most importantly, finishers. You have to surround yourself with those people. And we talked on the broadcast last week. If you see something that's working in another industry, I brought to your attention about Amazon and about traditional publishing, not traditional publishing, publishing on Amazon's platform, or, you know, publishing on your own website. Why can't you do the same thing Jeff Bezos is doing? Is he any different from you? I don't think so. He put his pants on the same way as you, one leg at a time, right? That's what I'm talking about, expand your mindset. Don't say, oh, Jeff Bezos, he's a billionaire. Well, what about you? What about you? Think of the people you know that have accomplished what you want to accomplish. Think about that. Think about those things. And I know, you know, it might not be on that level, but you just think about that. Who are those people that you know that have accomplished greatness? Not the ones that's talking about it. No, the ones who have done it. Okay? And they're able to pull you, or they have enough energy and momentum in them that could pull you to where you need to be. That's who you need to surround yourself with. Not people that talk about what they're going to do or talking about others. Get in a room with people who have already done and are about their business, about their father's business, about, accomplishing things. That's what needs to be done, y'all. Here's the next one. How close can you come to matching those values? That's something to think about. How well can you rearrange your values to match that ideal set of values? Okay, not in them, but in yourself. When you writing this plan out, you're writing this about yourself. You're going to bring those values. You're going to bring those things. You're going to perfect those things, inside yourself that you don't like about yourself. Because who knows you more than you? Each of us know us, okay? Each of us know ourselves. So let's get busy and start doing those things in order to maximize our potential. Here's the next one. Reinforce the values that matter. Think about this. A, how can I build this value in myself and make it part of me? B, prove to myself that I am that type of person. And in order to prove it to yourself, you have to be in alignment with yourself. You got to say the same thing, you got to think the same thing, and you got to act the same way. You have to have unity within yourself. That's how you prove it. Because your subconscious mind will what? It'll kick in And it's going to tell you, liar, that's not true. Now, you know better than that. You don't do that. Think about it. Who knows you better than you? Okay. Now, here's another one. Are my goals and values a good match? That's something to think about. Are my goals and values a good match? Do they line up? Do they match? An abundant mindset alone is not enough. It's not enough, y'all. Action is needed. You can't be, saying I'm going to do it. It's time to be intentional. Get intentional. Set those goals, make those plans in order to reach those goals. You must start taking action on your dreams. A lot of you are sitting there and you're thinking that your dreams are dead. They're not dead, they're lying dormant. You just need to be ignited. And I hope that what we're sharing with you has ignited you to take action, to pull out those things out of the cobweb of your mind, out of the cobwebs of your heart, and get busy and put them into action, because the world is waiting on you. People need to hear your message. They need to read your story. They need to, be involved in your business. You got products to create. You got messages to write. Whatever business you're in or whatever you're doing, you need to be the best that you could be and be unapologetic about it. Taking actions on your dreams. Elaborate on what you want to experience. Don't play it safe. Elaborate. Okay? Go all out. Express yourself. But elaborate on what you want to experience. Don't hold back. You've been holding back too long. Because maybe it's an old mindset that tell you, oh, you just can't go that far. You just can't do this. You can't do that. Yes, you can. As long as you're not breaking the law, as long as you're not hurting anybody or, offending anybody, you could do just what you want to do with what you have in your hands. Because there's so much that you have on the inside of you that needs to come out. And this is your time to make those things happen. Here's another one. Whom can I ask for help when I have a tough choice to make? Who can you ask for help? Certainly not the ones that they're not doing anything. They're just on TV all day or on the phone gossiping, or they're jealous of you, or those who are not, they just talk and no action. What did I say? Those who are already at that place, those who are collaborating, okay? I make connections each and every day. I made one today, met the lady for the first time, and we just click like that. There's something on the inside of you, okay? And of course, you can't be jealous of anybody either. You can't be afraid to work with other authors or other business owners or anybody like that. You have to have that understanding, okay, that we in it for our audience. Our audience are asking questions, and we are trying to serve them and serve them big and give them everything that they need in order for them to have an easy win. I'll be working with this lady. I asked her to do a conference with us, okay? And this is not the next conference that's coming in March. This is another conference I'm talking about. She's a ghostwriter. I'm an author, okay? Am I jealous of her? Is she jealous of me? No. But we see something there that we could work together in order, to bring our audiences to the next level. Because this is what I promise y'all. Your book is a gateway, but there's much, much more than just writing a book. And I promise that Tiffany and I, we're going to take you there. We're going to take y'all there this year. But you have to be ready, because opportunities pass you each and every day. And you've been missing opportunities. But if you hang with us, you won't miss another opportunity. But you got to be ready, okay? So that's why I'm asking you to define yourself. Define yourself. And see who you really are and why are you doing the things that you're doing. Know your why. Creating your plan. My individual plan, and you heard Tiffany said about her morning routine. And I didn't know what she was going to talk about. She had no idea what I was going to talk about. But I said, build a morning routine. Build a morning routine. And y'all going to get these slides, okay? Incorporate, that was A. B is incorporate technology into your plan. And I'm talking about more than Facebook. You have to have other things. I'm going to list them for you because you cannot compete with these AIs because you're going to be tired. You're going to be worn out. If you try to do things the old fashioned way, like what happened in 2016 and 2019, 2020, 2021, you cannot compete with these AIs. You got to incorporate technology in your plan or you're going to get left behind. Okay, you're going to get left behind. Also, create a theme for the year. That's another thing. Our theme for the year is maximizing your potential. And from January to December, we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be finding ways and opportunities for y'all to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. Here's another one. Build skill sets in your plan. Now, this is something like Zoom, LinkedIn, Facebook, video, email marketing, time management. You know, it's things of that nature. Things of that nature. So when you're building your plan, this is what you put in your plan. And build social media into your plan. And stick to your plan. You know, you might have to divvy a little bit and, you know, tweak a little thing from here and there. You know, it's not ironclad, but basically stick to your plan. Don't just throw it out the window. Okay? You have to have discipline in order to, you know, make this thing work. You just can't just throw it out the window. Okay? Now, annual money goals. You're going to have an annual revenue projection. This is your sales results, your annual revenue projections, your annual marketing strategy. This is your marketing tactics. These are things that you build into your plan. Then you're going to have your ultimate outcomes. And this is for each month. You have ultimate outcomes. This is part of the plan in reaching your goals. Then next, you're going to have monthly money goals, okay? You're going to have monthly revenue projections. Those are simply projections. How much that you plan on to make this month. Monthly marketing strategies, your marketing projections. And then you're going to have your monthly virtual projections. This is like workshops, conferences, book launches, you know, different things of that nature. You could do everything, a lot of things online. And you know what? It's better that way. You could have some, you know, out in the venues and different things. But when you do it online, you reach more of your audience. You reach people around the world at any time of the day because they'll pull up a video and they may be in Australia or China or wherever around the world. And they can look at your video, you know, when you're asleep. So think about some of those things that you could do. Write those in your plan that you could do. Now, let me give you your yearly survival exit number. You might say, Gertrude, what in the world is that? Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you. Get your pen and paper if you have one, okay? Your yearly survival number. And what you're gonna do with this, let me move this up my way, is you're gonna say, for example, $60,000. You wanna make $60,000 this year. You're gonna take $60,000 and divide it by 12. And that equals what? $5,000, right? $5,000 a month. So you say, I need $60,000 per year. So that's $5,000 a month. And that is your monthly survival number to stabilize your revenue. That's just an example. You can put anything you want there, okay? Now, you take that $5,000 and say you have an entry-level product, okay? You take that $5,000 and say that product is $20. I wrote it down. It's $20. So you take the $20, you divide it by 5,000. And that tells you how many clients you need that year. You need 250 clients that year. And this is something that you break down, okay? This is a part of your plan, just like the other things I gave you, a part of your plan. So out of the 250 clients per year, you divide that again by 12. And that equals 21 clients per month. So you see, you break it down. You keep breaking things down to make it more realistic for you, to make it easy for you, instead of just jumbling it up. And then you take those 21 clients per month, you divide it by 4 weeks, and that equals 5.25 clients per week. And you go from there. You go from there. And say, let's go to the next one, the next slide. Reaching your $1 million. Why can't you reach $1 million, y'all? Okay? It's not very hard. You just have to have a plan. It's possible for you. But maybe, that's something that you don't want to do. But I'm just giving it to you if you want to do it. Okay? If you want to do it. But it could be $100,000. It could be $250,000. Maybe you're satisfied with $60,000. It's up to you. But I want you to see what's possible for you. Okay? And I'm not going to stop at $1 million. Okay? It's whatever you want. But look at it this way. If you had a $5 product or a book or item, and you wanted to reach $1 million, you would have to sell 200,000 of that item. If you had, now I'm not going to read all of these, but I'm going to go here and say, suppose you had a $250 item. You would have to sell 4,000 of that item or that book or that product in order to make $1 million. Suppose you had a $10,000 product. Well, you would just have to sell 100 in order to reach $1 million. Suppose you had a $50,000 product or item. Well, you would have to just sell just 20 in order to reach that $1 million. And when you have a business, when you have a book, when you have an item or anything of that level, make sure that it goes all the way from free up until your maximum or your signature product. Okay? Have something for, because there's different people that you're going to be talking to in different levels. So make those things available to them. But expand your mindset. You could do it because there's greatness on the inside of you. You have to stop playing it small. You have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. So when you're in that solitary place and you defining yourself, bring all of those things out of you, okay? And I know it might be some tears, it may be some, and I'm saying tears of joy, tears of happiness. It might be even tears of people have put you down so much that you can't see it for yourself. But when you meet reality, it may, make you feel some kind of way. But you know what, y'all? That's okay. Because you have value on the inside of you. You have gems. You have treasures. And the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you to transform their lives. You have a great responsibility as an author, as a business owner, or whoever you are, to speak into somebody's life, to bring a transformation, not only for that person, but for that family, and not only for that family, but for generations to come. And, with that being said, on the last slide, and I'm sorry y'all didn't get it. I don't know where Tiffany's at, but let me put it in the chat right here for you right quick, okay? This is where you get the free, I want you to get this free gift. Profitable strategies. And I want you to get it, and let me know if you have problems. If you didn't get it, download that free gift. Bit.ly profitable strategies, HTTPS, :// bit.ly/ profitable strategies, and download your free gift. I don't know, Tiffany, did you put yours in the chat where they could get that? And I promise y'all, I will send y'all, if you put your email down there, I'll send y'all the slides, because I do want y'all to get these slides, because I know, y'all, there's greatness on the inside of you. There's greatness on the inside of you. So does anybody have any questions, question and answer session? Anybody? There you go, Tiffany. Stop sharing my screen now. Does anybody have any questions, Tiffany?
I don't see any questions in the chat field. It looks like everybody's already said what they needed.
Okay. Did
And we got email addresses also in the chat field as well for the slides, that the slides can be sent to.
Wonder if I could see. Okay. Okay. Marcia.
But they're also going to be in the LinkedIn.
Yeah, they'll be in that, right? Yeah. Because I don't want to miss anybody. So, yeah. And y'all, that'll be sent out tomorrow. But that's, the end of what I have to say. And I hope that, y'all enjoyed it, or if nobody has any questions or anything of that nature. Did you drop yours in the comment section? Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, Tiffany has something for y'all too. So did I answer your questions, y'all?
You got email addresses in there. Email addresses are being put into your chat field. They're put in the chat. I'm just not going to display them on the screen.
Yeah.
So I want to put it on the screen or on the chat field. So
you put it in the private chat? Is that what they are?
No, it's in the actual timeline.
Oh, it's in the timeline.
Yeah, I just don't want to display those on the screen. So we have emails in the chat field. When we go onto LinkedIn, that you'll be able to grab those from there. If need be, if you want me to, I'll just go ahead and copy them from there and I'll send it directly to you.
Thank you, because you're gonna need them too. All right. All right.
So, hearts and minds clear. You want to give us some closing thoughts for the workshop?
I just talked enough, right? I just talked enough. But I hope that everybody, I hope that this broke it down for everybody, that everybody could, go back, and that's very important to me, y'all, that y'all go back and define yourself and see exactly what you have on the inside of you, because that's very, very important. That's very important, because the next conference that's coming up in March, I have women. I have a lady who's a sales coach. I have a lady she has a virtual bookstore, y'all. I have a lady that's going to help y'all with your website. I have a lady that's going to help you with your email marketing. And, I'm excited about this because, I want y'all to get the whole package. I don't want y'all to stop with a book because, like I tell you, your book is just the gateway. There's so much more. There's so much more for you. And you're going to see things are going to begin to blossom for you. And opportunities are going to flow from this. And not only this, and the lady, like I said, I was talking to today, a ghostwriter, but she does, extracting some deep things out of people. And I'm excited about that. I'm so excited. I didn't want to text you, Tiffany, because I've been texting you because I know you had this and I was so excited. But I'll tell you in the morning about that one. I'm just so excited, to be able to meet people where I could bring to this platform that will help our audience expand their reach and maximize their potential. That's what I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm. That's super good. Well, there's a lot of beautiful things that we're trying to bring to you or on coming up. So again, so you can awaken your greatness. Ms. Gertrude has a fabulous vision that she really wants to see everybody empowered. She really wants to see everybody maximizing their fullest potential, as well as being able to get your story out, and you're getting your story out writing from your core. So make sure you continue to, if you're not following her on all social media platforms, please go ahead and take the opportunity to follow her on all social media platforms, and making sure that you go ahead and start writing from your core and making sure that you do everything that's necessary for you to maximize your fullest potential. I will also state, not only am I encouraging you to follow Ms. Gertrude, I am going to cheerlead myself as well. Let's go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms as well. It's going to be Leading Lady Tiffany Rochelle, or it's just going to be Tiffany Rochelle. So please feel free to follow me on all social media platforms. I'm even on the world's Tickle the Talks. So feel free to catch me on there. So we had some, hopefully that you were able to digest some of them good old nuggets that we implanted into, or I should say imparted into, because we're doing the implants tonight. Nevertheless, hopefully these seeds that were sown on tonight, that they fell on some fertile ground. They didn't fall on no stony ground, they fell on some fertile ground. So hopefully your lives will be able to be impacted and will be able to be changed. Hopefully you'll start being able to shift and put some of these goals that Ms. Gertrude was speaking about into action and put that into play for your life. So I have nothing else. My heart and mind is clear. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so much, Ms. Gertrude, for allowing me on the stage.
Well, thank you, Tiffany, for helping me. Thank you.
Grateful for reasonable service for you. And so with that being said, my heart, mind is clear. Give us your closing words, give us the benediction, and then I guess if anybody has an 8, they can eat. I have an 8, and I'm ready to eat.
Church dismissed, right? Church dismissed. I told you I talk. Now we got to do this again at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's been a long day. But bye, y'all. Thank y'all for being here with us, okay? Bye. Y'all have a good night. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point, right? Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. I'm gonna make sure that you get the slide, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good night.
Good night.